This comparison video is brought to you by sellcashier.com. Sellcashier compares iPhone prices online and gives you a quick quote to get you the most cash for your iPhone. It's simple, fast, and secure. Check the description for more information. What's up, everyone? How's it going? This is Waj. Hope you guys are all doing well. And in this video, we're going to be counting down my top 15 reasons of why I think the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 is a better phablet smartphone than the iPhone 6s Plus. Now, we've done a counter argument for this video. Definitely check out that video in the description down below. But let's find out some of the unique advantages the Note 5 has over the 6s Plus. So if you're interested, let's get right into it. Now, the first thing I want to mention is regarding the cameras, and specifically in terms of the front-facing camera. I think generally speaking, you have a much wider field of view, and even though they're the same in terms of resolution, 5 megapixel stills, in terms of video, the video quality is much better on the Note 5 compared to the iPhone 6s Plus, with a wider field of view, a higher resolution of 2560 by 1440 versus the iPhone is still doing 720p, which is definitely unacceptable, especially since they've upgraded the stills capabilities. So if you want the better front-facing camera, the Note is definitely the winner over here. Now, in terms of the rear-facing camera, one highlight of the Note is that I think it renders out a little bit more color saturation. The other thing is that the videos and photos, even though very similar in terms of resolution compared to the new 6s Plus, is a tad bit sharper based on my personal experience. I found out that the camera was just overall a little bit more balanced, had generally a better metering system where you found a little bit more detail information in shadows and in highlights, especially in well-lit conditions. So generally speaking, if you want the sharper image and certainly the higher resolution stills, you're looking at 16 megapixels over 12 megapixels on the iPhone. I would say in good lighting conditions, the Note 5 is definitely the winner in terms of camera quality. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is regarding the price tag. The iPhone 6s Plus retails for around $750 versus you're looking at about $50 less currently right now for the Note 5. Pricing always fluctuates depending upon where you are in the world, and of course exact pricing will always change as a result of time and everything, but as an initial standpoint, you are paying a little bit more for the iPhone and you're saving a little bit money on the Note 5, even though it's about $50. Moving forward, another great thing about the Note 5 is that it has integrated fast charging capabilities. Now, you can essentially do fast charging on the iPhone 6s Plus if you use a 2 amp iPad charger, but generally speaking, you are going to get 0 to 100% faster on the Note 5 compared to any method of charging on the iPhone. Another great thing about the Note 5 is it has built-in wireless charging capabilities for both PMA and Qi wireless charging standards, so you can also do fast wireless charging, so plenty of more features than what the iPhone has. I wish the iPhone 6s Plus and more smartphones had wireless charging because I pretty much use it on a constant day-to-day basis. Now, another awesome thing that has been an advantage on the Samsung phones for years and years is the multi-view multitasking mode, as well as the pop-up window multitasking mode. Now, iOS 9 does have split screen multitasking capabilities, but unfortunately right now it's limited to the iPad devices. I wish the 6 Plus had some kind of multi-window multitasking mode. It certainly has the screen size for a function like that, but still at this point we don't have it. Some people, again, may not find a multitasking mode that useful, but for power users that like to watch a video alongside doing something else, it's certainly definitely a handy feature that the iPhone still kind of lacks. Another feature about the Note 5 is that it has universal NFC capabilities, so you can connect it with any standard of NFC device. The iPhone 6s Plus does have NFC, but it's limited to Apple Pay applications, which is kind of unfortunate. And the other cool thing about the Note 5 is it has full on-the-go support, so you can plug in an OTG adapter and use all sorts of USB devices, such as a USB thumb drive for transferring data back and forth, or even hooking it up to an external monitor and with a keyboard and mouse and using it as a full-on computer. So that's definitely a handy feature that the iPhone lacks. Moving forward, you also have the download booster capabilities that we saw on previous generation Samsung products. So with this, you can use a combination of your LTE and Wi-Fi speeds at the same time to get an increased, essentially boost up your download speeds, a feature that is pretty exclusive right now to some of the Samsung phones and some of the other Android phones that iOS and the iPhones lack. Another cool thing about the Note 5 is that it still carries over some of the gesture controls that we know and love. So whether that be muting the phone or picking up the phone to answer phone calls, all sorts of gestures you can still do on the Note 5 like the previous generation Note 4. And you also have the Smart Stay mode, which will monitor whether you're glancing at the phone and keep the screen on or off depending upon whether you're looking at the phone or not, a feature that's fairly exclusive to the Note at this point. Furthermore, if you live an active lifestyle, you'll be happy to know that we still have that heart rate monitor on the back of the Note 5, so you can monitor your heart rate pre and post workout and use it in conjunction with the S Health app that'll track all your physical activities throughout the day. Now, another advantage is the S Pen. It's great for people that want to get more precision in terms of their everyday work. Plus, the stylus is great for some of you guys out there that like to physically write something down, whether that's a specific note or a reminder or anything like that. And there's 100 different things that you can do with the S Pen, giving it even more functionality. Now, internally, both of these two smartphones are very capable, but if we're going to get down to specifics, in terms of the multi-core capabilities, we have 8 cores compared to 2 cores on the iPhone 6s Plus, and that's going to render out better multi-core performance, generally speaking, based on our Antutu score, as well as the Geekbench results. And we have double the amount of RAM, of 4 gigs of RAM versus 2 gigs of RAM on the iPhone. Now, another awesome thing about the Note 5 is really regarding its design. It's fairly compact for a 5.7-inch display, so it's a larger display than the 5.5-inch that we have on the iPhone 6s Plus, and it also has a higher screen to body ratio because it's smaller both in terms of the height and width of the phone. It's also a couple of grams lighter as well, which is definitely nice to see. Winding down our list, certainly a highlight of the Note 5 is that beautiful Super AMOLED display. The colors, I think, render out a little bit more saturation, things that pop out more, and you generally have a better viewing experience, especially when it comes to watching movies in a pitch black environment, since you have that organic LED display, which can render out completely pitch black darks and better overall color rendition than what the IPS LED backlit display has to offer on the iPhone 6s Plus. And last but not least comes down to that glorious Quad HD resolution. Now, there are some caveats to having a Quad HD display when it comes to battery life and things like that, but in terms of viewing pleasure, you do definitely find that text looks sharper, images look sharper. You're gonna have the ability to watch Quad HD content on YouTube on the Note 5 versus that's not available on the iPhone 6s Plus, and you'll definitely see that difference in real life. It's hard to see in the video. You really have to look at these two phones side by side in real life and really see what the Note 5 has to offer, and generally speaking, in terms of most terms, that display is far better than what the iPhone 6s Plus has to offer, even though the display on the 6s Plus is generally pretty good, but it's nowhere near as good as the Note 5. But really on that, guys, that's really it. Give us a like if you like this video. Check out the counter argument for this video in the description down below, and we have a whole bunch of dedicated comparisons regarding the battery test, the speed test, as well as the camera test that we referred to in this video. So definitely check those out. Thank you for your support, and we're going to hear one last thing from our sponsors that made this video possible. Now, just one last thing, guys. I get a lot of people asking me on what they should do with their older smartphone. Should they put it on eBay, Craigslist? But to avoid all that hassle, there's actually a really cool service called Sell Cashier, and if you go to sellcashier.com, these guys will actually buy your existing iPhone from all the major US carriers. They currently operate in the United States, but it's really simple to get a quote. You just select what carrier you're using, the specific model of your iPhone, and the overall condition. They'll even send you a free prepaid label and a box for free, which is quite fantastic and much better than selling it on eBay or meeting a stranger in a dark alley through Craigslist. And lastly, Sell Cashier prides themselves on giving you the absolute most for your iPhone. Compared to many of the other services that buy your iPhone, you're pretty much guaranteed that Sell Cashier will give you the best deal for your existing iPhone. So definitely go check them out. I think they definitely provide a useful and hassle-free service that you'll be pretty happy with.